Our next guest is Lawerence Henry, Sitting Eagle. Lawerence is better known for his teachings of the clan systems and the relationship to traditional child care and family systems. And he's been in this territory for a long, long time. And in fact, they have honor plaques at Warroad and Fortune Bay. Lawerence, Sitting Eagle, is a former chief, a band counselor on the Roseau River for Anishinaabe Nation. As a dedicated traditional community worker, Lawerence is called upon to conduct many traditional ceremonies, both in Canada and the United States. They wouldn't let him in Japan, though. So anyway, I'd like you to welcome Lawerence Henry.
A part of our growth as Anishinaabe kind, we came from those of us of this generation. We came from a very dark past recently in the last 500 years or so. We suffered, and today we still feel those effects. But one of the things we have to remember is, I've heard it said here several times today, that we have to look forward into the future. And we have to learn from our past. But for some of us that were affected in a negative way in our recent past, we shouldn't carry that around anymore. Because too many of us, and I've heard it said this way, carry our baggage around. We got this great, if I can say that, we got a great big garbage bag full of our garbage. And we're dragging it wherever we go, we're dragging it wherever we go. And it's heavier and gets heavier and heavier every day. Let that go. Let it go, drop it. You become lighter. You can walk faster. You can do things more because you have an extra free hand. Let it go. Then you can start working on what's to come yet. Our future, our little ones. They're the ones that are in need. I want to tell you a story about a dream or a vision that I had. And it's difficult for me to talk about it every now and again. But it's a reality. That's why you're here today. In this dream, I was standing in an open field, much like this here, but there was no buildings around. On the south side over here was a bunch of elders from Roseau. They were all there. I saw them all. 100 or more. And I was standing between them and the open field a little bit of ways. And as I was standing there facing them, I heard a commotion in my back. And I turned around to look, and from the northern skies, I saw like a flock of geese or ducks coming in for a landing. But they weren't ducks. They were little babies, little Anishinaabe babies, young ones. And as they were coming in to land in the field north of where I was standing, and as they approached the ground, they started running on the ground. And some of them were tripping and falling and giggling, laughing. And they were having a wonderful time, and they were coming this way to where I was standing. And as that happened, I turned around and I looked back towards the elders were standing. I didn't notice it the first time, because the elders were all still there. And then I heard another commotion behind me when I was facing south, looking at the elders over here. I heard another commotion, and I turned around and I looked. And I saw that the sky was kind of become darkened, because there was so many of those things that were flying, that were coming in for a landing. They were all babies. They were landing and they came into that field, and as soon as their feet touched the ground, they started running and running in this direction. And I saw them so clear that some of them had almost bow legs. They're such small babies running, laughing, scurrying along, just having a wonderful time. And they were coming this way. And I thought to myself, do they know where they're going? And then I turned around and looked back to the elders. This time I noticed there were some of them that were gone. Some of them had disappeared. There wasn't as many as there was before. The other thing that I noticed is that I was getting closer to where they were. Then I heard a commotion again. And as I was facing south, the elders that were left, I turned around, and again, this time there were thousands of them coming in for a landing. Little ones, babies. Same thing. They came in, they landed on the ground, and they start running and scampering this way, running this way, laughing, giggling, having a wonderful time. And I thought again, do they know where they're going? I wonder if they know where they're going. And I didn't know in this dream or vision. And it was then at that moment I realized that I don't know if I want to turn around, because those elders are going. And I slowly turned around, and there was just a few of them left. Maybe 15, somewhere in that neighborhood, all scattered out like that. Very few, and I was getting closer. And again, I heard something behind me. And I turned slowly. And I saw thousands upon thousands of them coming in for a landing. All those little wonderful babies. And as they landed, they scampered, laughed, giggling, tripping, falling, getting up and running again, coming in this direction. And again I wondered, do they know where they're going? And I didn't want to turn around again. Because those people back there, I loved them so much. And if I turn around, they're going to be mostly gone. And slowly I turned. And I saw most of them were gone. Those that I cherish and love so much were gone. And I was closer to where they were. That dream, that vision, that's what you guys are talking about. Do they know where they're going, those little ones? Maybe they don't. But you know where they're going. You are the ones that have to prepare that spot for them. Because they are coming, and they are coming by the thousands. They are going to darken the sky as they come down to land on this place. What have you got for them? You can't rely on these ones because they're going. You can't rely on them anymore. Not in a bad way. Except for Willie, of course. I just had to throw that one in there, Willie. I say that in a kind way there, brother. He's reaching for his knife there. He said it this morning. You got to have a little humor here. He said it, remember? My relatives. that dream, if nothing else ever affects you on this day in the next few days, remember that dream. Remember that those little ones are coming in by the thousands. Not by the hundreds, by the thousands. What have you prepared for them? What are you giving them to take once they're here? Are we going to give them what was taken from us? Are we going to provide them with a good, solid foundation for which that they can move forward with? Are you going to take that garbage that you've been dragging around and give it to them to carry next? Is that what you're going to do? Then I would caution you at this point, don't do that. That's your garbage. You dispose of it. You caused it. You put it away. And you give them something that they need so desperately, and it's a good life. Only you can provide that to them. And I will say this much again, and I've heard it so many times. With Chidewin, in my opinion, is a great leader in going forward in the development of child and family services. But don't get too comfortable in those positions. Don't think that you are the great Savior, because you are not. You are the Skabeos, the helpers to those little ones that are coming, as I am. And we're going to blaze a good landing spot for them. We are going to blaze a good road for them, so that they can be strong, so that when they come into this world, they will know their Anishinaabe name. They will have their spirit name. They will have their language, because the language in any country, in any tribe throughout this world, the original language is the most powerful thing that you can give to any human being across this world, is their language. Because the language, especially in the Ojibwe language, and the Anishinaabe language, there is words in our language you can't even translate, because it is so profound, so powerful, so amazing, so spiritual, that you can't find any words in the English language to properly, adequately translate it to English. Because you can't. You have to know the language. That's what this is all about. That's what Chidewin is all about, as I understand it. If you think of it in any other way, I don't know. Can you fulfill that of which those little ones are looking for in the coming, as they are landing on our soil, on our territories, in our communities? Are you prepared? If you're not, then go and get yourself fixed up so that you can fulfill what is necessary to make sure that they live in a good, safe environment, and a powerful one, so that they too cannot go through what we did. We need to give them that. We owe it to them. As uncles and aunties, brothers and sisters, we owe it to them. We cannot allow all those things that has happened to us to happen to them. And I say it that way, and I'm not carrying my garbage anymore. I disposed of that a long time ago. Oh, some of it tries to stick back on me, but I have to throw it away every now and again. That's what Willie told me anyway. Willie is my brother, you know that, eh? My clan brother. I love the man. He makes people laugh. That's the most powerful medicine around.